Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh God. Hi, Christina. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to be feeding her. I'm just waiting for a couple of my girls to hop on in 2 minutes. Wait. Wait. I can't believe I'm actually early. That never happens. Hey, Melissa. You're all right. Can you guys hear me okay? Melissa, I just unmuted you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, mine wasn't working at first.
Okay, yeah, because I did it something so like I could mute it when people came on just because I get
Okay.
a brain and I can't do like the noises and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna wait like 1 minute because I think Marjorie said she was gonna try and jump on.
Okay.
I gave this to some other coaches as well. I don't know whether or not they're gonna be able to jump on or not, but we'll see.
All right.
So, all right, I'm gonna mute you again and I'm just gonna start in a minute.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna get started just because I want to keep to a tight schedule. So this is something I feel like, hold on, let me move this forward. This is a topic where I feel like it's one of those things where like when everyone tells you about the 4 vital behaviors where you know you have to be doing it, you know that you have to do these vital behaviors, but sometimes you just don't do it, but it's really, really important. So this is consistency in social media. So before even going on, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what you should be doing on your social media. So if you're posting, you need to make sure that you're posting at least 1 to 2 times daily, a minimum of 1 time. Obviously, if something comes up, sorry, she's like joking. If something comes up, like for example, I just obviously gave birth like 3.5 weeks ago. So there were a few days there where I wasn't posting, but because of everything else I was doing in my stories and in my previous posts, people who were following me would know like, okay, she's literally in labor right now. She's not posting, or excuse me, something along those lines. So like if you're posting, then people should know of why you're being absent. Like if like there was one day I came on and I was like, listen, yesterday was a horrible day because she wasn't latching and that's all I was doing. So it's kind of like, okay, well, that's why she didn't post. Not that people come on, but I know there are people who have said to me before, like, oh, I came to your page today to see what you were up to. And it's like, for you not to be there for people who are looking to come to you for either motivation or if they're having a hard day or whatever it is, like you need to make sure that you're showing up for yourself so that you're there for other people as well. Because remember, like, yes, this journey is for you, but what you have to say is really important to other people. Like a lot of people will relate to what it is that you're talking about because the people who are following you are your people. And if they're not following you, then obviously they're not your people. They're not in your little niche. So the next, I'm just going to go really quickly to the next slide to show you the color wheel. Most of you guys have all heard about this. Ashley uses this all the time. Yes, you're a coach, but that's not all that you are. You should be sharing all aspects of your life. So you need to think, who am I? What are my likes? What are my interests? When I filled out my color wheel, mine, for example, would say teacher. I could get more specific and say kindergarten teacher. I could get even more specific and say, flexible seating, because that's what I like to do in my classroom. I could have Netflix. I could put chocolate, pizza, all these different things that make me who I am. Snowboarding, although I haven't gone snowboarding in 2 years, which is ridiculous, but you get the point. Mom, girl mom, mom of 2, different things like that. You want to make sure that you're not only talking about Beachbody. Like I could have that I was a college athlete on there, which means that if I'm posting or talking about that ever, then I would be able to attract other people who are like that also. And you want to use this as your guide. So when you're using this as a guide, think about how you feel. And this is like where it's kind of difficult. You want to get real and vulnerable because that's when people relate most. So for example, if I were to make a post, about my postpartum body, which I kind of talked about in my stories today anyway, other postpartum moms or even people who have not lost the baby weight yet would be able to relate to what I was talking about because I got vulnerable and I got real about what it is that I was doing. I was talking in my stories about how, yes, I know that it took 9 months to make this beautiful little being right here, but at the same time, that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm unhappy with how I look right now. I'm allowed to feel that way, but I'm working on my journey. I'm working on getting healthy again and different things like that. And I'll relate to another postpartum mom, or, you need to just make sure you're getting vulnerable. So telling a story when you're making one of your posts, before you post, you should ask yourself, what do you want them to get from it? And would it stop their scroll? So obviously the picture itself needs to be, a good picture, not of you holding your, Shakeology cup turned so that people can read Shakeology, because then there's no curiosity marketing there. They're gonna be like, okay, she's drinking Shakeology. Let me go on Amazon or let me go on Beachbody and get that myself. So you want to do curiosity marketing also, which means you're not giving away product names. Like when I do my Energize, it's Go-Go Juice. So people are like, oh, what's that yellow drink you drink every day? What is that? When you talk about being able to clean your entire house, that's what I was talking about today, because I did. I literally cleaned my whole house. And then an easy way for you, if you're doing your social media, pick something if you want to. If you're struggling with something, pick something for each day of the week and just stick to it. You can do a motivation Monday. So it could just be maybe on Mondays you put up a quote. Like, I don't know if you guys follow me, Ham Fam Fitness. I every 6 picture have like some sort of quote. Like if you want, not that that's just on Mondays, but like you could do that. Teacher tip Tuesday, or just tip Tuesday, thankful Thursday, fun Friday, flex Friday, sweat sesh Saturday, selfie Sunday. Like you could do whatever you wanted to. It doesn't have to be something that's like MMTT or whatever. But if you are struggling for something, then find something, stick to it, because then that way also your followers will be looking for that. Like if they come in on a Monday and they love all your posts or your motivation, they're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go check out Melissa's page and see what she's got for Motivation Monday today. Then when you're doing your stories, so that's posts, you should be doing a minimum of 1 a day. Absolute bare minimum should be every other day. You need to make sure that your followers are constantly seeing your name up in their feed. And then for stories, you should be doing a minimum of 10 stories, and they should not just be fitness stories, not only about nutrition, not only about the business. This is an opportunity in your stories for people to see you and who you are, how you talk, because a lot of people can put up a post and say a complete BS post that has nothing to do with really who they are, but they know it's what people might want to hear. And then when you're talking in your stories, they're going to be like, this girl is like, what is she talking about? That meant no sense to me because of like her personality and stuff. So like a post I just said gives a glimpse into who you are. So really, like when you're telling your stories, don't hold back. For example, like if you normally curse, or if you when you're drinking your Energize, you usually do like a little dance or something, do that in your stories also, so that people realize like that's your personality, that's who you are, and then your vibe attracts your tribe. So and then also in your stories, you want to make sure it's a mixture of videos of you talking, or song playing in the background, also just pictures, boomerang, using text, using question boxes, using the little sliders, polls. You don't want everything just to be like picture, 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 boomerang, picture, picture, picture. You want to make sure that you're hitting all of those different things throughout the day. Get some songs in there that you really enjoy. And if you're using multiple videos, I've been trying to do this a lot more. And yes, it does take a little bit more time, but if you're using multiple videos, make sure you're adding some text, because people are going to listen to your first one and it's like, sometimes I'll just click straight through, which is fine. But you want to make sure that if they're not able to actually listen to the video, like there are some times where I have listened to Ashley's before, but like I've been laying in bed and she always has something up that I can read, so that no matter what she's talking about, I know from her text what it is that she's talking about without actually having to listen to her, if that makes sense. So if you're using like a bunch of different videos, make sure you have some sort of text on there. This is the color wheel. So this is one of the major things. Why is consistency so important? So if you post one day and then you skip 2 days and then you go and add just a couple of stories and then you disappear for a day or two, you're not going to be able to build trust with anyone. You have to make sure that you are remaining consistent in what it is that you're doing. Okay. You have to make sure that you are constantly giving people an opportunity to get to know you, because people are going to look at your page and they're going to decide if they like you first off the bat. They're not going to be like, oh, this girl can help me right away. They're going to see if they like you based on things that have absolutely nothing to do with your business, which is why that color wheel is so important. They're going to be looking to see if they can relate to you in any way. Is she a mom of girls? Is she a mom at all? Is she a teacher? Is she this? Is she that? So when people go to your page, they should immediately know about you and a little bit and about who you are, either by looking at your bio, and then those first 9 pictures of your page should have all sort of different things from your color wheel, not just pictures of your daughter that don't really have a message to it. Yes, obviously every once in a while, like a filler picture, just so that you can build that like trust and know factor, which would mean like, for example, if I put up a picture of, like today I put up one of my quotes was like talking about how maternity leave basically allows you to go from your plaid pajamas to your yoga pants, and that totally counts as being able to get dressed. My call to action or whatever underneath it was, if you can relate to this as a mom, drop a whatever emoji. If you can relate to this as not a mom, then drop this emoji, because like somebody who isn't a mom might be able to just put on yoga pants and say that's getting dressed. So, like that would be like a likability, no factor sort of thing. But your bio should have something about you, about what your interests are, what you're trying to do with your page, and then your first 9 posts should be part of your color wheel. And in those first 9 pictures, you should always have some sort of transformation picture. If you don't have a transformation picture of your own, ask your upline. They will be more than happy to send you one of theirs, and then their challengers and then their challengers. And there are so many people who would send you transformation pictures for you to have one in those first 9 slides. And then obviously you don't have to have a before and after for you to start. You can have a picture that talks about how you're a work in progress or something like that. I've done that before also. And then the consistency factor also is you want your people to think of you outside of social media with things that you share daily. So for example, one of my girlfriends that I met on the leadership retreat last October, Meg Farley, I don't know if you guys know her, she's absolutely killing it. She drinks Trulies like it's her job. And especially like in the summer and stuff. So it was like anytime her followers would see Truly in the store, it would be to the point where they would take a picture and then they would tag her and be like, thinking of you, Meg, or something like that. Like you want to be so consistent with what you're doing that your followers think of something out, find something when they're out in the real world or whatever, and they tag you, or they find a product that they think you might like and they tag you, or they see a PD book that you may have read before and been like, thanks so much for the recommendation. And then they tag you in their stories. Like you just want them to think of you outside of the social media stuff daily. And you want to be seen as an expert, authority, and a leader. Like you want to make sure that you know what you're talking about. You want to make sure that you're being authentic. You want to make sure, especially with like challenge groups and your coaching and stuff like that, you can't hold back and be like timid, like, oh, I'm not really sure about this challenge group. Like, you want to be like, these challenge groups are friggin' bomb and I've got these results. And if you don't have results yet, then you can say like, you've seen your coach's results and the vibe of the group. Like you just need to make sure that you're talking as you were an expert leading your followers. So building trust and having followers remember you, I kind of just hit that. You want to make sure that they're seeing you. You don't want to be putting in Beachbody pictures or like package items, anything like that. Yes, you can talk about price and things like that. I talk all the time about how $160 can change your life. Like $160 is literally all it takes for you to go from A to B and be like feeling really good. Obviously, I say it much better than that, but you don't want to be putting up pictures of Shakeology. You don't want to be putting up exact pictures of your Energized, what I was talking about before. You want curiosity marketing because you don't want them to be able to just automatically go to Amazon and buy something on their own. You want to make sure that they're having to ask you for that information so that you're sending them the link for your Energize. You're like Energized through like BB links with your coach ID on it. Make sure you're not copying anything. Make sure that you're using your own voice and being authentically you. You want to find something and put your spin on it, make it your own, never copy somebody. I've followed or seen one person before that had literally copied the same exact post that a top coach, Ashley Feld Dyson, had done. And it's like, it's just so icky. And it's if somebody sees that, they're really like never ever going to follow or talk to you again. Like it's just such a bad thing. So please don't do it. And don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Okay. You are on your own journey. There's absolutely no reason for you to be trying to do exactly what somebody else does, because what somebody else does might not work for you. You have to find what works for you. I say to pick 2 or 3 accounts, like 2 or 3 bigger coaches accounts to follow. And that's it. It's obviously like you're going to have like your upline, most likely you're going to have probably the bigger upline, and maybe you have some friends, but like you really should not be following every single coach that follows you, because one, they're all that's going to come up in your feed, and you don't need to be really interested in them because you're not able to work with them, right? You want to be looking for people who you're going to be able to help change their life, not a coach who's already trying to change other people's lives. So there's absolutely no reason for you to accept everyone's friend request. And I actually even just recently went through and did an audit, and even though I am friends with them, I'm not following them, because then you get stuck scrolling and you're looking at all their stuff and you're like, oh, let me change my text to what she's doing because I think that looks good on her story. And then you end up changing all this stuff that you are doing, and you're doubting yourself because somebody else is doing something different, and you just want to make sure that you're doing your own thing. You want to give without expectation. Try to do that 2 or 3 times a week. So I recently just started making it a goal for myself to go on my IGTV at least twice a week with some sort of inspirational something or another, whether it's going to be a fitness video, whether it's going to be, I just went live, or I just did yesterday about like how I've saved so much milk in these first couple days or first couple weeks of having my daughter. Then I did like my story, my mission. You can go on and give recipes. You want to make sure that you're giving to your audience at least 2 or 3 times a week something that is free, essentially, because everyone loves something free. And the more you do that, they'll come back to your page, and then you can invite them through they're seeing all the stuff that you're doing, and they see the community that you're in. So look to, drop a recipe that you're using. Look to do something on IGTV, maybe drop a question box in your stories asking like, what would you guys like to see? Or, the free group. I know for me, I'm going to actually tomorrow be talking to my team about the free group that I'm running next week, where I'm actually just going to be using the sample workouts. Like I was going to make my own, like, what is it? We did like a booty something or another. I can't remember the name of it once, but people want to see like exactly what they're going to be getting. So I think every single month, what I'm going to do for my free group is pick 3 days and just give, like, the one day is going to be lift 4 sample. The second day is going to be transform 20 sample. The third day is going to be the 21-day fix sample. Like there's so many different sample workouts that they give you that you can constantly keep using, that's actually what I've decided that I'm going to start doing for my free groups every single month. That way I can, when I'm inviting people to it, I can say like, you're going to literally be working with the trainers that you would be working with. So if you guys are always stuck for free groups, that's something that I kind of had like an aha moment last week. And I'm going to, with my success partner, her and I are teaming up to do that with both of our teams. And then also for people to follow you or having your followers build trust and remember you, think of different ways for your audience to tag you in stories. So aside from drinking Trulies and like constantly showing that, maybe go on Canva and make a template for a Monday that says like Motivation Monday. What do you want to accomplish this week? And then leave like an open box, and then you fill it, put it on your story filled out, then say screenshot this next page when you fill it out, tag me, and then put it on. And you could do that for like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you could do that for different days throughout the week, just so that your followers are constantly able to like interact with you, other than just having to comment or like something. So using different, challenges, like, hey, I'm doing a water challenge. When you finish drinking, 2 bottles of water, tag me in a picture, like something like that. So you're able to do that with them also. And then lastly, just remember that the number of likes you have doesn't determine your worth or what you're capable of. Having more followers doesn't mean that you are more successful or more trustworthy. Your likes and followers is not what you need to focus on. Obviously, your likes are going to be part of your, using your invites, people who like your things, you're going to be using that, but don't get hung up on, like, I have some posts that get 200 something likes, and then I think I get some that have 16 likes. Like, don't get hung up on that, because if they're liking your one picture, they're seeing it in your feed, and you need to just constantly be doing those 4 vital behaviors. Connections and content is really what you need to be focusing on, being authentically you. Making those connections behind the scene is so incredibly important, and you should be making at least 10 new connections a day. If you haven't done the funnel system, I highly suggest using that. That's a whole nother call, but and this one's really important. And I feel like trying to find my specific audience or your niche. Like, who do you want to be on your team? I understand that for a lot of new coaches, like, you are willing to take basically anyone that has a pulse in your challenge group because you're trying to fill it or because you're trying to hit Success Club. But you really need to make sure that you're not just taking anyone. Obviously, if they're coming to you and they're asking for help, then yes, you're going to do that. But you want to make sure you're looking for your tribe. Like, for me, it's so hard because I am a mom of 2 girls and I'm a teacher, but I also was a college athlete, and I feel like I want to reach out to those people also. But at the same time, like, that's not my phase of life right now. So people wouldn't see that in my feed, which is, like, they're going to be like, well, okay, you were an athlete, but you're not right now, sort of thing. So just make sure that you have a specific audience. Like, really look at your color wheel and think of, when you're looking up hashtags or when you're adding people to your network, that you're trying to add people who you would want genuinely on your team. Does that mean other moms? Does that mean other teachers? What exactly is it that you're what exactly is it that you're looking for? And that's really all I have for in terms of like this. Sorry. I know you want the other side. But you just have to really make sure that you are being authentically you, and the consistency, you have to make sure you are doing your bare minimum of 1 post a day, every other day, absolute bare minimum, and then your stories, just because if you're trying to build that trust, they need to know that you're serious. They need to know, I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I followed Ashley for 6 months before I finally decided to join. One, you want to make sure that your coach is in it to win it, essentially, that they're not just gonna crap out when something gets hard and then they're not gonna be there for you. People want to watch and see that what you're doing, one, is working, and two, if they can trust you moving forward. So, you know, you need to really give yourself a gut check and say, like, I am going to be here in 1 year, and you need to just keep going from there. I mean, this coming March will be 2 years for me, and I'm not where I want to be in the business by any means, but I'm still showing up. I've still managed to just have a second really healthy pregnancy because I've managed to stay so consistent. And, you know, you have to just remember that this journey is for you, but you also have no idea who you are really helping. And you have to make sure that, you know, in order for you to be consistent, that you're doing those posts and you're doing those stories. And I know it's really scary to get outside your comfort zone. In the beginning, when I first started, I think I took my videos and I would do my videos so you couldn't even see my face. Like in the workout, I would make it so the camera was cut off and you could only see my body. And then after a month, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. I need to just like actually show myself. And then I did that. And then before I know it, I was talking on whatever. And now here I am like doing IGTVs, and here I am talking on a call and being comfortable with people who I don't know, you know, and just, you just have to bring that confidence and know that what you're doing is going to help somebody else in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's only one person, that's one person that you're helping, because you know that what you're doing is freaking awesome. Like, not even just the coaching part, you all know what these challenge groups can do for you. You all know what these programs are. So please don't be scared to share about it. Don't be scared to talk about it. You know, sharing about it in a post sometimes just isn't enough, because like this total teacher in me, there are people who are very visual and they like looking at things and they like reading stuff. And then there's a lot of people who are auditory and they need to actually hear it. So you talking in your stories about it is going to hit somebody differently than it's going to get to somebody else, if that makes sense. So that's really it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. This is kind of like a really straightforward topic. I'm going to stop sharing and get everybody on the video. But if you guys want to unmute yourself and ask any questions, please feel free. I don't know if you guys have questions about like the color wheel or anything like that. Oh my God, I'm sweating so much right now. Anyone questions? No? No? All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, so I am going to figure out how to save this recording. I honestly have actually not really a clue of how to do it. I have it somewhere on here, and then I'm going to try and put it on a YouTube thing, and then when you get it, you can share it with your teams. You can share it with whoever you need to do. Oh, I can't even figure that out. But if you have any questions, you guys can send me a message separately, either on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. But I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you guys all go right now onto your stories and talk about this call. Like, this is something that you guys could go on and talk about what we just did, like really simple, you know, and just enjoy it. But I do want to take a picture really quick, even though I know Alexandra and Christina, you guys don't have your picture on, but Melissa, yours is. So I'm snapping a picture really quick. I'm actually going to do a boomerang. Oh, yay. And there's another baby. Yay. All right. Hi, guys. Actually, I'm going to use you too and get you back in here because you were in the whole call anyway. So, all right, guys. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I totally, hold on. Sorry. I cut my face right off when I went to go up with my camera. All right. Ready? Sorry. We're doing it again. 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. All right, thanks so much for being on, guys. I really hope that was helpful, and I'll chat with you guys soon, okay? Everyone have a good night. See ya.